Hey there, so it's that time of year again. It's time for my bow video. Every year I put a bow video about this year, and I will have a playlist in the description box below where you can watch those other bows. So regardless if you have a bow maker or you just want to make them by hand, you just want to know an easier way because you've struggled, I can help you. So watch this video and go check out those other videos because listen, bows don't have to be hard. Let me teach you how. Let's get started. All right, so let's get started with the stacked bow. And yes, this looks like a hot mess because these are several things of ribbon. I still have a lot of this one, but everything has just a few little like lengths of ribbon on them. And I have been seeing crafters make the stacked bow for years, and I thought I'm gonna just show you guys how really easy this is. And if you are bow challenged, be bow challenged no more. This is not a fancy bow. This is very more of a rustic look, but would be beautiful on any wreath, any door sign, anything that you want to put this on. So what we're going to do first is we're going to cut 2 lengths, or let's say 3 lengths of each at 8 inches a piece. So this is where I love my rotary mat. Again, you can buy all the supplies here in my Amazon storefront. So I'm not even going to be like super like, you know, got to be exact. I'm not even going to do that. And then I'm going to cut them. So we'll do these 8 inches, and then I'm going to take them. And I love these scissors that I do get from Amazon because this is pretty thick ribbon here. I got this particular ribbon at Michael's, and I'm going to dovetail it. And I can cut through 3, when you double it, that's like 6 pieces of ribbon together, and it's not a problem. So there we go. So do this to all your ribbon. Use as many different ribbons as you want. If you don't have as many, then, you know, do some extras. So I'm going to cut all of this and I'll be back. Okay, so we have all of our ribbons here. We may not use them all, and that's okay. So we have everything. So you're just going to start stacking, okay? So I'm going to take let's see, make sure the right side is up there. I'm going to take actually, you know what I want to do is I want to do this. I think I want to stack them in a way. I'm going to take this and I'm going to gather them, and I'm just going to keep holding them, okay? So there's different ways you can put these very differently, and you can do that. I'm going to just make this like the base of our bow. So I'm going to take, I think I want to do this one. This ribbon came from the Wreath shop from a project that I did with you guys. Let's do another one. And now let's do this. I'm gonna kind of like put it in between. All right, so now let's do a smaller one. Kind of like let's do this blue. Again, this one came from the Wreath shop. So these 2 are Michael's, these 2 are the Wreath shop, and this was Hobby Lobby, just so you know. All right, so if you want to go check them out, I have links for the Wreath shop, of course, below. But I almost feel like we don't need 3 of these. So I like the base with the 3 of the burlap, and then we're going to take another one here. Let's put that in the middle. And let's do one more. And I'm just taking them, and I've got them all here. So where is okay, so this is where this side and this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a piece of wire, or you could take a pipe cleaner. I just don't have any pipe cleaners in here. And I'm going to wrap it around, okay? And then I'm going to twist it really good, okay? So this is the bow where you say, Julie, I don't have any skills at all making a bow. You can do this bow, all right? Anybody can do this bow, all right? So now we're gonna do something in the middle here. I'm just gonna take some jute string, and I'm going to go around it. I'm gonna go once, twice, 3 times to kind of help with that look of rustic. And then I'm gonna just make a knot back here. So at this point, whether or not you need the jute or you need the wire or whatever, you can clip off whatever it is that you don't need. I'm actually gonna, And if you want to make this bigger, you could use 10-inch lengths, you could use 9-inch lengths. It just will make your bow bigger. And so this is basically a stacked bow, kind of like a rag bow or something like that. But I think it's pretty cute. I think this would be pretty on presents. I think you could put this on a wreath. You can make it bigger. And I like the look of the 3 of the same at the bottom. So I just think that's adorable. And you're just gonna kind of play with your ribbons. And I think that's really cute. Isn't that cute? And so easy. Okay, so this is what we're gonna call the 1-inch less bow. This is all ribbon from Mel's Crafty Mojo. Amazing ribbon, so good, okay? So what we did is we cut these in certain sizes, okay? So we cut 2 pieces of the 2.5 inch, this is all wired ribbon, at 22 inches, and then 1 inch less at 21 inches, okay? So that's the 1-inch less bow. Then you're gonna do 20 inches, 2 of them here, and then 19 inches, 1 inch less, okay? This one is gonna be 2 at 18 inches, 1 at 17 inches. So you're kind of getting my drift here. And then we did 2 of the orange at 16 inches and 1 at 15, okay? So you could use these measurements for any size. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, but make that 1 extra length 1 inch less. All right, so the next step is you're just gonna take your smaller pieces here and you're just going to glue them together because we're gonna try to make this a really simple bow that will take the intimidation out of it for you, okay? So we're just going to let that set up. So I'm gonna take each of the smaller pieces, okay? And I'm gonna do the same thing, all right? All right, so let's put it together. So basically, the principle here is I want you to put this on your mat, go at the 10-inch mark, gather it, fold it over, and then gather it again, leaving about 1 inch of a tail underneath. Do the same thing, gather, fold it over, and again, all right? So we're gonna lay these on top of each other. So now we have 2 tails. I'm gonna take this one and I'm gonna gather it in the middle and I'm just gonna lay it on top. So this is the point where if you don't wanna hold on to this, you don't have to, okay? You can get a chip clip, but I find that if I hold on to it or if you have a bow maker that you could just set it down into, that'll work too. But I'm just gonna keep holding on to it, okay? Because I can do that. So we're gonna take, again, 10 inches, fold it over, another, I'm gonna add it to here. I'm going to do 10 inches, fold it over, gather, put it down on top of each other, grab the one that I've glued, going to bring it down and I'm going to gather it, and I'm going to keep my thumb on that, okay? It's not going anywhere. Let's grab the red, go to the 10-inch mark, you're going to gather it, fold it over, and you're going to gather it again and put it on top of the green, all right? This is where it gets a little tricky, but you can do it. I have faith in you. All right, again, 10-inch mark, fold it over, and we're gonna add it right on top. I'm gonna use my thumb there, okay? Grab the piece that we did the glued part. Gonna kind of find, I'm just eyeballing this. This is not going to be perfect, and that is okay. I'm just eyeballing it at this moment. Okay, just gonna keep holding it right there. I'm gonna grab my 2 oranges and find the 10-inch mark, fold it over, and you guys are getting tired of hearing me say that, I am sure. Alrighty. Okay. I'm gonna just put it right there. And at this point, you could just leave the one, but we're gonna add this one to it. It's getting pretty thick here. I'm gonna put it right there. Looks like that one was a little bit bigger, so I must have cut that a little wrong. So I'm gonna take a zip tie now, and I'm gonna put the zip tie over it. Make sure you have the flat end going down. And I'm just gonna flip it over and attach our zip tie. Before I get it all the way down, I'm gonna take a piece of wire here because we're gonna need to get this on our wreath or our sign, or, you know, if you wanna do this for your Christmas tree, you can do that too. And now I'm just gonna pull it really tight, okay? So we're gonna clip this. All right. Going to try to unsmash it now. I kind of smashed it. And you're gonna just start fluffing up your bows, okay? Why don't we do this? We're gonna cut our tails first too, and then we're gonna do it all. So let me cut my tails. We're just gonna take your tails and you're going to dovetail them or cut them at an angle. You know what, let's just cut them at an angle. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Because they're all kind of little differentiating, that's not really a word, Julie. They're all different sizes, and that's okay. I don't think everything has to be matchy-matchy. All right, I took off the wire because it was getting in my way and I wanted you to see this bow. So the last thing we're gonna do here is we are gonna take a piece of the actual, where did my bows go? My ribbon, oh, it's on the floor. We're gonna take a little bit of this and we're gonna add it to the middle. So I'm just gonna cut a piece. I'm cutting way too much off. And what we're gonna do here, here's a little tip for you, is cut the wire off and then it won't be as bulky, all right? Okay. And then you're just gonna lay it, and you can add a little bit of glue there if you want, but it should be just fine. And then I'm gonna put it around the bow like so, so we get a little bit of our kind of different look here. And then I'm gonna actually tie this because this is plenty long enough. Let's just tie it. All right, there we go. Cut those off. And that is your 1" less bow. I think it's super cute. Super easy. You don't have to be a pro. If you don't have a bow maker, that's okay, guys. But I'm gonna show you how to use the bow maker next. Okay, so the first bow maker we're gonna get out is called the Pro Bow 4-in-1. And basically we are gonna do a really simple bow here. If you've never seen me make these, I've used this in many of my videos. I really like this one. Also, if you don't catch me on Amazon Live, you need to go check it out. I'll have the link in the description box below. And I will be doing bow videos in October, November, and probably December over there, just so that people will be able to make bows. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do something a little different, okay? We have two ribbons together. One is 2.5 inch, one is 1.5 inch. My friend, Amy and Art Designs over on TikTok, and then Amy and Art Designs over on Facebook. I will link her down below. She makes the cutest wooden signs. And I saw her make this bow and I said, hey, Amy, can I share this with my followers? And she said, of course. And so I want you to check out her YouTube channel because I think she's putting out a bow video too. So check her out. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna let's just say 7 inches, okay? I don't know that we're gonna use this much for the tail, but this is a smaller bow, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I just measured 7 inches. It's on your thing. And then before I put it on the, okay, we had to interrupt that recording because my son had a question. So we're gonna pull this and we're gonna keep the two ribbons together, okay? So I always twist it and then put it down, all right? So we're gonna go to the 4 inch. This is gonna be a small bow, okay? So we're gonna do 1 4 inch there. So when I come back here, I'm going to slide that down ever so gently and I'm going to gather it, yeah. And then I'm gonna twist it before I even put it down there. That's just the way I like to do it. Everybody's different, okay? But I just really like the fact that we're making loops with the same bow, and it kind of cuts out a little bit of the time. So I wanna make sure that I have my ribbon lined up here, okay? Again, we gotta twist it. Find the 4 inch mark, which is right here. All right, I'm gonna come back here where it is. I'm going to take my fingers and I'm going to gather it and twist it again, okay? And I just want you to repeat the same thing you just did over here and over there. So let's do it again. 1 here. Okay, so now that we're there, we're gonna take the bottom piece of the burlap ribbon, and I'm going to cut that. I'm not going to cut this yet, okay? And I'm just going to kind of move that down because that's our tail. We're now going to take this and we're going to make a little loop. And what we're going to do is we're just going to pull it up a little bit. I'm going to come and I'm going to make a little loop. I'm going to gather it. And then I'm going to kind of bring it back over. All right. I'm going to bring it out and I'm going to grab, you can grab a zip tie or wire. We're going to grab a zip tie because it's right here and handy. And I'm going to put this right in there. And I'm going to smush everything down, not on purpose, but you get my drift. Okay. Okay. Then I'm just going to turn the ribbon the right direction. I'm going to cut it. All right, so now let's make this look really cute. Pull your ribbons apart. I still want them to stay on top of each other because I just like that look. I think I'm gonna do this one up. The bottom one up and the bottom one down. This is really thick ribbon from Hobby Lobby. The white and beige came from the Wreath shop. And then you're just gonna take it and let's just dovetail this. You just bend it over there. And I kind of like the fact that we can do these at different lengths too. I think that's pretty. And I think this is such a darling bow that could go on anything. This would be really cute to put bows on your Christmas tree like this, on wrapping gifts. So cute. Okay, so now we're gonna get the Pro Bow, the hand, and I have, let's see here. I have a long piece of wire. I kind of cut 36 inches of wire because I want it to be longer. And I have 3 rolls of the same ribbon, okay? And I just got this ribbon from Hobby Lobby because it's a little thinner. It's a little thinner than what I used in the previous ribbon. And for this, we're gonna do a tree topper. This is a very simple thing to do, but if you were to do it by hand, it would be very difficult. This is my ultimate favorite bow maker. The one that I did before this is really a close second, almost there. It depends on the kind of bow you wanna make. But this bow maker will make anything and is so versatile and so good. So I'm gonna put 3 rolls of this Christmas ribbon, and it's very important. I don't know if you can see, let's just look at this for a moment. So Pro Bow the hand comes with this spool, this ribbon holder. And so you can put all 3 different ribbons on here. But the thing that you want to remember is you want your ribbon coming the same way because we're going to put this all on the same peg. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to do this. So over there. All right, so I'm going to just kind of get this out of the way over there, and let's focus on this. Oops, a peg came out and I need to find another peg. Hold on, I gotta find another peg here. Okay, so we have the extra peg. I don't know why I didn't have that one in. So the Pro Bow the hand has different rows, A, B, C, D, E, and F, and then this is your right and this is your left, and then you have the little pegs. You can get the bigger ones too. I have these in my Amazon storefront. The link for this will be in the description box below. But this, if you are thinking of a Christmas present or just wanting to get ready for Christmas, this is the perfect bow maker. It's just so good. And I have so many tutorials on how to use this bow maker. So make sure to check out my bow making list that I'm gonna put in the playlist that I'm gonna put in the description box below. So let's just get this started and show you how fast that this is to make, okay? So what I'm gonna do here, so I've already pulled all 3 of these ribbons together, okay? And we're just gonna keep pulling, all right? And now I'm gonna just take them and I'm going to gather it with my finger here. I'm gonna take my 26 gauge wire, and I did this a little longer because you'll see here in a moment why. So I'm gonna wrap it once, twice, 3 times, okay? So all I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna keep pulling this, and I'm going to go over this center loop here, okay? I'm going to bring my wire here and I'm going to wrap it around the little nail head, and then I'm going to go clockwise around my spool here, and I'm going to go around several times because this particular wire is so long. All right, I usually don't cut them this long, but I wanted to. And then I'm going to just take it, let's do it one more time. And there's a little, if you have the newer version, the one that if you order today, you'll have this little, there's a little niche in here that you can stick your wire down, okay? So this is Pro by the hand. I'm gonna take the other wire, I'm gonna lift my board up and just put it underneath there. Okay, so now we can get started. Now let me tell you how to make a beautiful bow topper for your Christmas tree in like minutes, okay? So what we're gonna do is we are going to come here, all right? And I'm gonna pull and I'm going to gather and then I'm going to twist, okay? Like that, all right? Then I'm gonna put this bow loop on that finger. I'm gonna come back here. I'm going to gather my ribbon, all right? And I'm gonna twist it up, all right? So we're gonna have it all coming this way. And then you're just going to take it and put it around your next finger. If you need to go take care of the kids, do something else, get a phone call, it's okay because this will hold your place. I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna gather. Remember, we're gonna twist it, okay? Because we need the correct ribbon to be showing. Now this ribbon here looks like it's more, it's both sides, each side is good, so we're good on that. But a lot of ribbons, we want to, oh, I twisted it the wrong way. You want to twist it and you want to go bottoms up. All right. And then you're going to go there. Again, if I needed to, I could walk away. Okay. You're just going to twist and put it on the next loop. Okay. Come back over, just gather it again, and you're gonna twist, and we're gonna put it on that loop, okay? Now, if you wanna do in the middle of this, you can do what's called a helping hand, and you can put a wire underneath to help straighten it out if you feel like you need to, but I think we're just gonna keep going here, and I'm gonna flip it, and come back. And we're just going to keep going back and forth until we get to the end here. Oops, I probably should do this a little bit further down. Okay. Just gather and then twist. Oops. There we go. You're getting a lot of ribbon. Can you imagine how big this is going to be? This is going to be huge. Twist. Do this side. All right. I'm going to come back. Now, I'm going to twist again. Come back. And I'm just going to gather it, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this ribbon or this wire off just like this. Remember, we use a lot of wire here. Okay, all right, now that one is off. I'm going to unwrap the bottom one. All right, so now I'm going to take them and I'm going to crisscross them, and we are going to make it pretty tight here. So I lost that one. Let's do this again. There we go. But I wanted a long wire so that we could, you know, if I'm putting it on a tree or whatever I'm going to do, it will be good. So this is what you could do. All right. So you could say if you knew how long the streamers were going to be, You could cut them. So if you had like what, a 9-foot tree or a 6-foot tree, you could cut these streamers maybe at 10 foot, and then be able to, you know, kind of like make them as long as you want. But so what I'm going to do is I'm trying to think here. I'm going to, because I don't know what I'm going to do here, I am going to do, here's 3. That's about 4 yards. 5 yards. I'm just kind of, so I'm going to roll it all the way up, and then when I get to the end, that's when we'll take our bow, and that way I'll have plenty of streamers for this tree bow. Okay. Okay. So you can see how much ribbon I have left. Okay. So that's what I would be doing, is I would be doing that, and then taking pins, and maybe even like a few safety pins, and then maybe take a rubber band and go around this. But I'm going to do something here, and you're going to gasp, but I'm going to cut this off because I want to fluff this in a way that you can see how pretty it is. Okay. So I'm just going to cut these ends a little bit longer. I'm going to save this because if I need to use it, I can do it. I can still connect these. So let's just put that to the side, but that's what you're going to do. And then you would have it to the side when you're fluffing out your bow. Okay. So now let's take our bow. And basically all you're going to do now is just lift it out. It's not stiff on here. It's not stuck. This is our bow. Okay. So let's take this, put this away. Okay. So if I had the fluff box here, this would be so much easier, but I don't, guys, because I've moved and I don't know where everything is. So basically I'm going to start down here, and I'm just going to, this is where the fluff box is really nice because you can just put it on. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that ribbon really pretty? I feel like it's kind of old school ribbon. It's like, this is just never going to go out of style. Okay. So we're going to just work on that, and you're just going to separate everything. But unfortunately, I don't have my fluff box, so I can't show you the fluff box. I'm so sorry, Regina, if you're watching this. But it's one of those luxuries. You don't have to have a fluff box to use Prolo the hand. You just don't. And you're kind of seeing how beautiful. I hope this really shows how pretty this ribbon is. And you're just going to pull it apart. This didn't hurt my hands. My hands are not sore. They're so good. All right, put that wire down. And pull that. And you're just going to keep pulling until you get to the bottom here. And I vary, like if I do the top one way, I'll do it, then the next I'll do it the other way, just to make sure we have a really pretty bow. All right. So you're pretty much already done. Isn't that beautiful? I'm telling you. This is why the Pro Bow, in my opinion, is so versatile, because we can make a big bow, we can make a small bow, but you know, you're just going to put this up on your tree. It's going to be really big. If you went and bought one of these bows, you would be spending so much more money on this. But really, I really like using the Hobby Lobby ribbon for something like this. And Regina's told me too that it does make an easier bow for the tree topper, just because it's not as thick of ribbon. So you're just going to make a beautiful bow. And there is a beautiful bow topper. Try to make sure you have a really good view. But isn't that beautiful? How big is that? That bow is about 18 inches in diameter, guys. That's the size of a wreath. So let me show you one more bow. Okay, so we're going to experiment here, all right? I'm going to cut a piece of the 26 gauge wire here that I have. And if I can get my wire cutters here. And I'm going to take this, only this black piece is kind of like a black velvet. I'm going to gather it. I'm going to take my wire and we're going to go over it. We're going to go over it. 1, 2, 3, okay? All right, and I need to put one more peg here. This is going to make a smaller bow. So we're going to work on row C, and then we're going to put 5 fingers on 1 through 5. And then your center row here, we're going to actually put that on row B. We're going to come down 1, okay? So what we're going to do is I want this to be the kind of the little button of our wreath here, or not wreath, bow. I'm not going to put this in there yet because I'm going to show you here in a moment. Actually, no, we're going to go ahead and put that in there. I have something else I can do. I'm just going to go and stick it down there. Take the bottom one. I'm going to wrap it around the nail, and then I'm going to slip it underneath. I'm also going to get another piece of wire here. I'm going to cut it. It's not, oh, that's probably 15 inches there. It doesn't need to be quite as long. So we have our first little bow, okay? All right. And then I'm going to twist this, and this is where I'm going to take my helping wire, and we're going to go through it and on the side here to the left. I think I'm doing this right. I hope so. But basically what we want to do is we want to create another wire here, because now I'm going to add more ribbon, okay? So I've got 3 ribbons here, and they're really pretty. You're going to see them here in a moment. Now I'm going to take, all right, my ribbon. Let's roll this one back up a little bit onto the spool. That's what's nice about having all of this, is that now I can take this ribbon and I can just put it right in here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make tails, actually. Let's make longer tails. All right. So I'm going to take an excess there, and I'm going to have some tails over there. All right. And I'm going to just twist it. And now we can get started, okay? I'm going to lay this over here, kind of lay it out of the way. So now we're going to twist this in such a way that it's laying with our ribbon, okay? All right, so you ready? So now we have each of our layers of ribbon all together. We're only going to have one little button in the middle, all right? So now I'm going to twist all this, because this is the bottom layer, and we need to twist it and put it on the first loop, okay? I'm going to come back. All right, I'm going to put this down a little bit. I'm going to twist it, or I'm going to gather it, and then I'm going to twist it up, okay? All right, I'm going to keep that over there and go like so. Now, I'm going to get rid of this wire now. I'm going to tie it right here. All right, because you really don't need it anymore. That was just kind of to help it a little bit. And if I didn't do this the way Regina does it, I'm sorry. I'm just going to pull it in there. This is just me playing around. That's what's neat about this. You can come up with your own bow recipes, okay? You're going to come back, you're going to gather, and now we're going to twist it up. All right? And we're going to go on the next loop there. Okay, make sure I didn't twist these. Okay, that's looking good. Come back, I'm going to gather, and I'm going to twist it up. All right? I don't even know if we're going to need all of these. I just like the idea of doing 3 ribbons at once, okay? Back. Okay. Gather. And I'm not a professional bow maker at all. I pretend to be one here on YouTube. So if you love this and I'm doing it in a way that makes you cringe, I apologize. But this is what we're gonna do. All right, we're gonna do one more. I think that this is pretty much as big as I want it to be. All right, so Now I'm gonna take the ribbon, the wire. Why do I keep calling this the ribbon? My nails are kind of getting in the way here. All right, I'm gonna unravel it. The key here is to always make sure that that is wrapped. Yeah, I got it. Clockwise. I'm gonna unwrap the bottom one. I'm gonna come here and we're just gonna twist that. Oops, I let go of it before I twisted it fully. That's okay, it's still staying together. All right, we're going to make some more tails here, and I'm just going to twist that. So we're gonna have lots of tails. We can trim off the other ones if we don't like the way that they look. All right, but now I can cut that. All right, so let's put this all off and just pull that out. Okay, I'm just trying to see how your angle is. So I'm just gonna cut this here. We're probably gonna get rid of some of this, but we'll see. I actually even cut my wires down just simply because I didn't wanna have to compete with it while I fluffed. So I'm gonna start, let's start from the center here. And we're just going to pull. So now I'm gonna pull this other side. I'm gonna do it the opposite here. Make it beautiful. I love the black and white. I think it's a really pretty look. Okay, let's go on this side. I want that on the other side, I think. You're just gonna separate it out and then we're gonna fluff it all up. Actually, I want this one to be in the middle. Let's do this. You can change your mind. That's the beauty of it. You can change your mind. All right, so when I look at it, just gonna, all this ribbon came from Hobby Lobby. So pretty beautiful. I love it. I love the colors. You could put some red in there. I think that's really pretty. But you're just gonna fluff it up and then put it on your wreath, put it on your tree, whatever you wanna put it. I just kind of like the little simple one size down there. If you don't wanna do it that way, you could just use all 3 ribbons together. But I think that's pretty. I want to cut these ribbons here. I'm gonna dovetail them. Just get them all nice and pretty. And then take these. Let's do them about the same. And honestly, I don't really feel like I need this extra piece, so I'm just gonna trim it. If you guys wanna keep it, you keep it. But you know what? I just don't feel like I need it. So I'm gonna cut that, and you can kind of tuck that in. But I think that's super pretty, and just another way to use 3 ribbons at once and make a beautiful bow. All right, well listen, if you made it this far, I appreciate it. I'm trying to show you all my ribbons here. It's not doing a very good job. There's too many and this one's too big. But listen, if you made it this far, and you can leave me an emoji, leave me a bow emoji in the comments, okay? Tell me which one was your favorite. Tell me, are you excited about Christmas? Are you excited about fall? Whatever it is, I want to know, okay? And listen, make sure to check out the playlist in the description box below if you want to learn how to make a lot of different kinds of bows. I show you how to do so many different bows that anybody can make, bows with bow makers and by hand, okay? So they're really, really simple and easy to do. So make sure to follow if you're not following. I love having you guys here every Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So until we see you again, we'll see you in Julie's Wreath Boutique. Bye-bye.